Today's February 8th, and we're going to have 6 inches of snow tonight, and it's the calm before the storm. It's really nice out. I got my beast, my Aaron's snowblower, started right up for me. That thing's great. And I said, well, it's nice out. I don't want to waste the day, so I have 2 logs of black locust that I'm going to shave the bark off, see if I get the sapwood off, and maybe even split it, at least 1 log today. So this is the log I'm working on, and with this black locust, the sapwood and the bark and the sawdust is very poisonous. I poisoned myself breathing in the dust from this wood, so I got to be careful. And if I do any sawing, cutting it, or I got to put a mask on and glasses. But just for using a draw knife and taking off the bark, taking off the sapwood, it's fine. So, got a lot of work ahead of me, but I don't want to waste the day. So, that's the plan. So, the first time I got being vlogged, I took off the bark, and then I took off what I thought was the sapwood. And right underneath the bark is this white softwood, and I thought this is the sapwood, right? Look. See? And then underneath, you can see the color. Look. You see that color? That orangish color? Right? So I thought that this orange color was the hardwood. Well, that's not the case. There's about this much sapwood. That's part of the sapwood, too. There's like, kind of weird on these, what I see, unless, it's just because of when it was cut. There's like 3 layers. There's the bark. There's this real thin layer of, soft sapwood. And then the draw knife slides over this, right? And this is another layer of sapwood. And I'll show you the end in a little while after I scrape the rest of this clean. Okay, masking goggles. I'm taking the paint off the end to look at the growth rings and sapwood. Okay, so you can clearly see that there's like 3 rings of white wood. That white sapwood, that's a little harder wood, like underneath that soft wood, soft sap, has to come down. We've got to take it down to a growth ring. The growth rings look pretty good. See some check in here. What I'm going to do is circle with a knot saw and see where I can lay this out. This stave came from Chris Bartick's property upstate, and I'm going to try and figure it out where the knots are and all, where I got to cut it in half. Despite of normally you would split it where the checks are, but there's checks on the other end that don't match up. So I'm going to use, when I figure out where I'm going to lay it out, I'm going to use a circular saw and split it to get 2 decent staves. Circular saw cut and splitting for 2 staves. You can see I'm circling every knot that's there to see where I can lay out 2 bows and at least have the knots in the middle. This is a 66-inch log, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to loosen up the clamp, roll it over, and I'm going to do the entire log and see where I can lay out 2 staves. Where this line is, there's a clear path to make a stave, and where this line is here, with the knot in the middle, it's okay, that little pin knot or whatever. So if I cut these 2 ends off, I'll have 2 bows. So what I'm going to do is split this log right in the middle across these 2 center lines here. So we got this here going up, and then we're going to cut this right here. This is where we're going to cut. Okay. And we're going to get 2 halves that we can make 2 bows out of. That's the plan. We're going to cut this here. Okay, and I'm going to use a brush to brush this off, and then I'm going to cut the other end. Okay, remember this is poisonous. It'll affect your breathing, all kinds of stuff. Use a brush. Brush this stuff down. Don't use the leaf blower. Use the leaf blower. You put all this stuff in the atmosphere and you breathe it in and get it in your lungs. Okay? So use a broom. Wear your goggles. Wear your mask. I'm going to slide this down and continue to cut to the end here. This black locust really takes a beating. I moved the strap behind the split, and the reason that this is up here instead of on the ground with a big axe and a big sledge splitting it nice and easy is because I have disc damage and nerve damage. So it's better for me to have everything waist level. Believe it or not, it's getting there. It's not too much more we have to do. Coming along nicely. Hey, not bad. Not bad. It split off a little bit where I didn't want it to, but because the limb is going to be the end here, it's going to be perfect. Not to worry. Came out good. Just going to trim up some of these fibers and split it in two. If you turn it on the side, you can see them and just trim them easy. Okay, you can see the fibers that are being held together looking over here. And I'm going to split them and trim them up. You can see just these couple of fibers are holding it. Very tough wood. Just going to trim them up and I'll show you the staves. So once I took off the bark, I circled every knot that I seen. And I figured which ones would be okay to have in a limb and which ones wouldn't be to have outside. And when I picked out two straight pieces, I was able to decide how to cut the wood. And it worked out. Look. You ever hear measure twice, cut once? Well, let me tell you, when you circle the knots and you're going back and forth, do it a few times. Make sure that where you split it, you're able to get two good pieces out of. This is only 5.5 inches, this log in diameter across. And there's like 1/4 inch or more, which would be a 1/2 inch of sapwood that's got to come off the ends, you know, when you bring it down to the growth ring. So it worked out, and then now I have plenty to trim up. And I'll get two nice staves out of this, one for Chris and one for me. So I had a busy day today, accomplished a lot. I came out today because we're having 6 inches of snow and I wanted to get the snowblower running. But I have this Ariens 16.5 horsepower snowblower. It's a beast. It starts up every time. So since that started, I put it away. And so what am I going to do? I said, I know. There's this black Locust Log, 2 of them sitting in the back on the table, covered up with the ends painted, and I'm going to cut one of them up and make at least 2 bows. One's for Chris that got the wood, Chris Bartic, and one for me. So look what I got here. 2 beautiful staves after a hard day's of work. This wood was even tough, you know, trying to cut these big pieces on a bandsaw. And look how nice they came out. So this is a really rough cut, but they're cut. And you can see on the end here the whitewood. I don't know if you can see it or not. But all this whitewood, which is at least 3/8 of an inch, at least, has to come off to chase a growth ring. Okay, that was my mistake. The first time around with this, I left that. The draw knife slid on this. Well, I showed you that soft sap, and then it's hard. Well, I left that, and it broke under tension. And then I had people comment and tell me, Joe, you got to take down that white ring. That's sapwood too. So we got like about 3 rings to take down to get to the hardwood. So that's it. Good day today. 2 nice pieces of wood. They're going to make 2 nice bows. And that's it. Okay, watch my other videos on Bare Bow Joe. Every day you wake up is a good day. Try to make the best of it, like I just did.